Hi Mihi, this is Fancy, and I'm looking at your design and comparing it to what you said in your post and during critique last last Wednesday. And you've broken up your composition into 6 very distinct hue areas, and you have used interpenetration as your design strategy. The only thing I'm worried about for the most part is that it seems like a pattern orientation. It's not a strict pattern orientation, but it feels like a pattern orientation. So I'm trying to decide how we could change that. I don't think it would take much. Also, I'm looking at your transparencies. So you've got straight shots from red to orange to yellow, and from yellow to green to blue. So really nice job with the straight shots. Where your areas come together, you're making that transparency kind of through the dark values, and we said that we kind of would like to make them through the kind of intermediate values, so the middle values. So I'm wondering if you get rid of this darker band here, what would that do when this purple and this red is placed next to each other? Would you get a better transparency effect? So kind of taking out this darker one here. And you still have them present, like the darker values in your darkest kind of interpenetrations. So taking out this darkest value that separates your different color families. And then I'm wondering, again, how to keep this from having a pattern orientation. Oh, one thing I mentioned in my post is that I like the way that this is attached, this darker interpenetration is attached to kind of a darker gradation, and this lighter one is attached to, so it's not completely surrounded. It seems less like a figure on a ground to me, as if it were completely surrounded by lighter values, which it almost is, except for where these two come together. I think that's really interesting. So for me, it just seems like a continuation of this darker area. It seems attached to it. It doesn't seem like a figure on a ground to me, so that works well. How could we keep this from looking like a pattern orientation? That is the big question, and I might have to think about that a little bit, and I want you to think about it too as well. But I love the design overall. I just want to, again, make sure you're making your transparencies through the middle values. So through values where we can still tell what that color family is, and then also making sure that it's not a pattern orientation. All right, I'm going to move on to the other pieces in a separate video.